Hi, it was my last dish, which was the Kashmiri Rogan Josh, and it's made without garlic and onion, right? Kind of a vegetarian mutton, if you will, by the Kashmiri Pandit style. And that got me thinking to look at regions around India, which are meat eating, not vegetarian part of India, but these are meat eating part or fish eating part of India, that makes similar dishes without onion and garlic and during the festivities, right? So I'm going to pick one such, and I'm going to find such dishes across India. And today I'm going to talk about one particular dish from West Bengal. Yeah, so this dish, a classic quintessential West Bengal dish called Aloo Potoler Dalna. Aloo is potato, Potol is pointed gourd, and Dalna is a mix, is kind of in between a jhol that the West Bengal calls, which is really a very liquidy sauce or a curry, versus a torkari, which is really a thick gravy-ish. So this is in between. And this dish, I got this dish from a friend of mine, very close friend of ours, Suparna Banik, who is now visiting her mother and her sister in San Francisco. So this dish has been sent to me by Suparna's mother, Shanta Banik, and thank you, auntie, for that. So I'm going to cook this dish today. Aloo Potolel Dalna, which is potato, pointed gourds, kind of little bit of watery dish, excellent, made without onion and garlic, from a part of India that's meat eating and fish eating. Hi, so this is the time to take you through the ingredients and the cooking process. So let me come here. I've got these pointed gourd, which I'm going to basically chop in half. That's it, right? I'm going to chop them in half. And I've got a potato, 1.5 potatoes, or two medium-sized potatoes. You have cut into bite size, or something very equal to this size of the pointed gourd, right? So I'm going to make this, cut these into halves. I've soaked them in water because they don't get oxidized or they get darkened. So that's it. For the puree, I've got this tomato, which I have kind of parboiled and then removed the skin. I've got some ginger and 2 green chilies. This will go into the puree. And then I'm going to come and do the dish, right? So it's a simple process to cook, but the dish is just awesome with the garlic and ginger. Typical vegetarian meal to be had on a festivity day. It's cooking time. The first thing is got about mustard oil. That's East. You have to have mustard oil. Got it to a kind of good temperature, heated up, and I'm going to saute the potato first. I'm going to just fry them. So I'm going to fry the potatoes, and then I'm going to kind of fry the potatoes to a golden brown. And the same thing I'm going to do with this, the pointed gourd. Fry them, keep them, and come back and make the curry or the dalna, right? Hi, so the potato has been fried golden brown. I'm now frying the pointed gourd again on the same oil to a kind of a darkish brown. While that's happening, let me take you through what will be the powdered spices. So I've got half a teaspoon of cumin powder, 3/4 teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili, half a teaspoon of coriander powder, and 1/4 of turmeric. And I'm going to just add water to it so that when I add this to the sauce, it doesn't burn. So that's kind of done. That's the powdered spices. The dry spices are basically simple: bay leaves, 2 red chili, cumin seeds, and traditional hing, which is asafoetida. When I cook, I'll come back. In the meantime, I'm cooking this as in kind of fried a bit in mustard oil till they're kind of goldenish brown. So I've got the potato fried, I've got the pointed gourd fried. Now it's the time to make the dalna, or the curry, right? So first thing I'll do, I've got 2.5 tablespoons of mustard oil in there, right, which I've brought it to a heat. I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cumin powder, which crackles immediately. Add to that the 2 bay leaves and the red chili, and then I reduce the flame a bit so the spices don't burn. And to this, I'm going to add the spices, right? On a low flame. Please keep the flame low at this point. So that gets done. And as the smell kind of simmers, which means the spices are now cooking, I'm going to add the tomato puree with ginger and green chili. And at this stage, I'm going to add salt. And I'm going to make the flame a medium. And I'm going to bring this, I'll cook this tomato puree with ginger and green chili with the spices till a point in time when the oil does not soak out of the tomato puree, right? So I'm going to do that, and then there's a last step. At this stage, very importantly, I will add a bit of hing, right? You can do two things. You can add hing at the oil, heat oil, or you can add it now. That's fine. But I prefer to add it later so that the burnt smell of the hing is not there, and hing is asafoetida, right? Which helps in digestion. Now you can see the oil is separating from the paste. At this stage, I will put the pointed gourd and the potatoes, right? And then kind of bring them, mix them up well. And as I do this, I'm going to kind of raise the heat a little bit, and I'm going to add a little bit of water to this and bring them to a kind of a very light curry is not the right word, but you know, in a short of a better English word, that's what I'll stay on. The last step is to add a dollop of ghee into this, right? That makes kind of the wholesome meal, you know. So I added a little bit of ghee, and I put it on kind of 10 minutes covered, because that's how long it takes for the potato to cook. And that's it. The dish is done. So this is Aloo Potol Dalna, or pointed gourd potato light curry, courtesy Suparna's mom, Miss Santa Banik, or Auntie. Thank you so much for this dish. And I'll come back with more dishes, which is about meat and fish eating parts of India, making these quintessential vegetarian dishes. Till the next time, from Bordo's Kitchen.